Hello everyone, and today I'm doing a ranking video for all 6 movies in the DCEU, which of course is all the recent DC movies that have been coming out, all take place in the same universe, kind of like Marvel did, but this is DC's version. So, we're going to be taking a look at how I rank all these films, and, yeah, I put Shazam here, but his movie didn't come out yet, but, alright. Let's get into this. So, in last place, I have Batman vs. Superman. I hate this movie. This is one of my least favorite superhero movies of all time, and just a really big disappointment when I first watched it. This movie just. Well, the overall plot, I think, is kind of good, and it makes some sense with Batman seeing Superman as a killer after what he did to Metropolis and Man of Steel. So, he fights him. And that, I understand. And I think that part of the movie actually works. But then they add in Lex Luthor just to add in, this plot where he's trying to get Superman and Batman to kill each other, even though they're already going to do that anyway. And then Batman's trying to recruit the Justice League throughout this whole movie, even though they don't even come in except for Wonder Woman at the end anyway. And then just the way Superman dies is really lame. There's so many ways that they could have killed Doomsday. And even if it did still come down to that kryptonite spear, Wonder Woman and Batman were standing right there. Superman did not have to sacrifice himself to do that. Either Wonder Woman or Batman could have done the same thing, and everyone would have been fine. And then also, the worst scene in the DCEU so far by far is the Martha scene. So, Batman's about to kill Superman, and then he's like, any last words? And Superman's just like, Martha! And Batman's like, why did you say that name? And then Lois Lane just comes out of nowhere and is like, oh, that's his mother's name. And Batman's like, that's my mom's name too. We can stop fighting now. And it's just, And there's a couple good parts about this movie, though. I think the action is really well done. And when Batman is actually fighting Superman, it's really good. Wonder Woman's entrance is amazing, and her theme song for this movie is really cool. And I think Batman overall is just pretty good in this movie, and I think Ben Affleck does a pretty good job. But Superman's just way too dark. Superman's supposed to be a happy superhero, and he's just way too dark in this universe. So, just not a very good movie, and I think easily the worst DCEU film so far. And then at 5th place, we have Man of Steel. And I actually like all the other films besides Batman vs. Superman in this universe. But Man of Steel goes here just because I don't really love the take on the Superman, how dark he is. I really like Superman to be kind of like a fun superhero that, I don't know. And I don't like how he completely destroys Metropolis. And I don't really like any of that in these more modern day superhero movies. I don't like how the Avengers take down New York or Washington D.C. or Sokovia during the MCU trilogy. Or not? Why did I say trilogy? Just the MCU. And then I don't like when they take down big buildings in this universe. I don't know. I just don't like it because it kind of just plays out as no one was in the building, but there were millions of people. So I don't really like that. And then I don't think the main villain in this movie is really all that interesting. He's okay, but I don't know. Zod is really not all that interesting, in my opinion. And then, what else? I think Henry Cavill is good. He's a good actor, and I think he does a good job. And then, I really like lots of the backstory in this. With Krypton and him being raised by Martha Kent and I forget the dad's name. What is it? I don't know. His adopted dad on Earth, and I really do like that. And I don't like how he kills Zod though, and I think Amy Adams does an okay job as Lois Lane. I don't know, but she's fine. But overall, a decent movie. Not great, but not horrible. And then at 4th place, I have Suicide Squad. And I really enjoy Suicide Squad for the most part. Now, is it really a good movie? Not really, but I enjoy it even more than I think I should. But overall, I think Harley Quinn and Deadshot are amazing in this movie. They are so good. Harley Quinn is hilarious. She is amazing in this movie. And Deadshot, I really like his backstory. But I think it drags because of the main villain and just all the other Suicide Squad members besides Harley and Deadshot. Like, I don't really care for Diablo or Captain Boomerang or Killer Croc or Katana because they don't really have much of a backstory and they're really not in the film all that much. And I just don't really care for them. And whenever they're on screen, I'm just like, all right, can we get back to Harley or Deadshot? And I hate Jared Leto's portrayal of the Joker. I do not like his portrayal of the Joker at all. But overall, Harley Quinn and Deadshot just saved this film for me. And they're just such likable characters. And I love every single time they're on screen. And then I do like Rick Flag, too. He's not a great character, but he's pretty cool when he's with Deadshot. And I love seeing the cameos like Batman and Flash towards the beginning of this film. And yeah, Harley Quinn is just great. So is Deadshot. So third place, I have Justice League. I just really enjoy this film, actually, more than most people. Now, is it really a great movie? No, not really. The bad guy's pretty lame, and the CGI is just not very good. And should they have built up these characters more before the big coming together? Yes, they should have. But I like this movie. I really enjoyed it. I love seeing it in the theaters. I saw it like 4 times, I think, in the movie theaters. I really liked it. And is it great? No, nowhere even close to great. But I just really enjoy it. And I think that it works well enough for the first Justice League movie. And then at second place, I have Aquaman. Now, I'm going spoiler-free, so don't worry. No spoilers in this video for Aquaman, but I think Jason Momoa is great as Aquaman. He just kind of brings something that I feel like Chris Evans brings to Captain America, or kind of like overall what you kind of consider as just kind of like a goody two-shoes, boring type of character to life, and actually makes him really likable, and you enjoy watching his journey. Should this have come out before Justice League? Yes, they could have easily done that with maybe like 1 or 2 line changes. They could have had it come out before Justice League. And then there's some continuity errors, but I really enjoyed this film. I like Amber Heard as Mira. I really like his orange and green suit way more than the one that he wore in Justice League. And I think that this is their most fun film yet. Is it a bit long? Yes, but I still really enjoy this film. And I think that the fight scenes are really well done. And I think some of the jokes are funny. And I really do like the soundtrack in this movie. I know lots of people say that that's this film's weakest part. But I actually like all the songs that they put in here. And is the CGI a bit off at sometimes? Yes, but just a really fun movie, and I'm so glad that this is fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. And at number 1, I think it's easily Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is just such a great movie, and one of the best superhero films ever. Just the portrayal that Gal Gadot gives to Wonder Woman is amazing. And Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine, is amazing. And I think that they just work really well together, kind of like Black Widow and Captain America do in the MCU. I feel like they kind of have that. And does this film kind of feel like a copy and paste of the first Captain America movies at sometimes? Yes. But still a film that I really enjoy and lots of people really enjoy. And there's barely any problems with this. The third act can get a bit off and clunky sometimes, but just really good. And Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor are just great together. And I think that the backup crew is amazing. The CGI and fighting is easily the best in this movie. And Gal Gadot easily is the best character in DCEU films yet. So, overall, I really do enjoy the DCEU. I hope that they can make some films like Wonder Woman level in the future. But I am still pretty happy with it. I'm excited to see Shazam. That looks really good. But overall, there's my ranking. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.